Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. I hope you are well. Want you to pull you up a chair and set a spell? Well, let's share the story. An Appalachian outlaw called Mountain Tom Clark. Born Thomas Marion Clark in 1828 in Franklin, Tennessee. His father, Henry A. Clark, and his mother, Nancy Bradford. September 26, 1847, he wed Sarah Bradford, and they had 6 children together. He lived in Lauderdale, Alabama in 1860. By 1865, Tom was reported by Captain Law Abraham of Company D, 4th Iowa Cavalry to be stealing and looting under Lieutenant Thrasher. Conscript officers caught up to Tom one winter day as he was building a stick chimney on his uncompleted house, where his wife and newborn child were very ill. Somehow, he escaped the Confederate officers and fled north to Clifton, Tennessee, to enlist in the Union Army. The Army life didn't keep Tom for long. He deserted the Union Army and soon met up with Clifton shebang. According to a local doctor, Tom Clark was one of 20 burglars who raided the Wilson plantation, and in September of 1872, they conducted a second raid into Florence. The criminal escapades that would follow was Mountain Tom's downfall. September 5th, 1872, several houses were robbed. 2 men were spotted driving off on a sorrel mare hitched to a buggy at 2 a.m. in the morning. Just after sunup, a posse led by City Marshal William Blair left in pursuit of the outlaws. They caught up to the gang near Gravely Springs. The outlaws stopped for dinner and were caught by surprise and put up no fight. They couldn't find anything as they searched the outlaws, but as they searched the buggy, a breastpin was found sticking out of the buggy's top lining. Deputies found 8 watches and a handful of breastpins and other items. The outlaws hid saws, files, and other burglar tools in a salesman's satchel. Seeing that they were caught, they surrendered their arms and placed under arrest. They were taken back to Florence and jailed. Sheriff Calvin Hudson deputized 8 men to guard with the jailer, being afeared that the county jail would not hold up to a lynch mob. At midnight, a lynch mob demanded men hand over the outlaw. The jailer fired on the crowd, but the crowd fired back, and the angry lynch mob busted the doors down and disarmed the men, and they dragged Mountain Tom and the other 2 men to a vacant lot just across Pine Street behind the Masonic Lodge, and lynched the 3 men in a large tree in the lot. The bodies were found by the citizens who identified Mountain Tom. Now here's where the legends take place. It is told that Mayor Rice ordered the bodies buried in one of the old fields just outside of town. But as legend has it, one of the men could remember Mountain Tom boasting that no one would run over him. So he got the idea to bury Mountain Tom outside the cemetery under the East Tennessee Street, where everyone would run over Mountain Tom for eternity. The news of the excitement of the night before made headlines. On the front page of the Lauderdale Times read, "Excitement in Florence. Summary punishment visited upon the guilty. Crime and punishment, 3 men hung on a tree. Thomas Clark, the notorious outlaw, executed. Robbers captured and hanged by outraged citizens." We give below the facts as we gather them of the following hanging of Tom Clark and the two burglars in our town last night. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this strange tale. I've never even heard of such a thing, but there's actually a historical marker just outside of that cemetery down there in Florence that tells the story Mountain Thomas Clark being buried under the East Tennessee Street, which is still there today. So, did Mountain Tom get buried in that old field just outside of town? Or is he laid to rest just under that East Tennessee Street? I guess we'll never know. I hope you enjoyed this tale. Thank you for listening to me. We love you to pieces. We'll see you next time.